Columbus Reptiles. We are live today with a weather report. Wait a minute. I don't do weather reports. That's for Al Roker. Which for those youngins, Al Roker used to be a big dude. Now Al Roker, skinny dude. I don't know. It's weird. He seems less jolly. Why is it that big people like me, I'm a big person, we just seem more jolly? I don't know why. Is this some Santa Claus shit? I ain't figured it out yet, but maybe. So Al Roker, get a little bigger, be more jolly. I don't know. Actually, he's jolly enough, I guess. We're going to do our last egg cutting. I'm just feeling a little time to give people a few moments to show up. This is going to be clutch cutting. See, when you're live, you can't edit out weird words you say when you get tongue-tied on double C's, double F's, double D's. Been tongue-tied on some double D's in my day. You can't really edit that stuff out. We don't edit it out anyway, so it doesn't matter to me. So what do we have here? Did we get anybody actually show up on this thing yet, Caleb?
Yep, we're at 17. Wolf Guy says hi. Wine Country Python says hey.
Speaking of getting tongue-tied, wine.
Char and Dennis is saying, yeah, there's quite a few people in here now. Woo!
That's because we're talking about getting tongue-tied on wine country and double D's. So let's get to work because this is starting to go way downhill. God, I love doing lives. Yeah, before I do get into these eggs, man, I got to tell y'all, I'm so happy this place finally has some damn internet because doing these lives is a lot of fun. And this is going to be our last egg cutting of the year because this is our last set of eggs of the year. So we won't have any more of these for a little while, so sorry. But what we will have is more lives. It may be a little while. It won't be as frequent as I like until my schedule clears a bit, but I do plan on layering into more lives. Just some different things we want to do for some fun, and you're going to keep seeing more content from us like you've been seeing, hopefully, as we want to ramp that content up. And we're going to ramp that content up even further in June, or after June. Really more after July, because I'm going to go on a sabbatical and go do some traveling and go to some places that are on my bucket list. Probably see some coral reef, and probably go see some gators in the wild. Some things like that I'm going to go do. And I will be posting and sharing all of that here and especially on our Patreon. But probably won't be doing that many videos while I'm doing it. But you guys will be in the capable hands of Caleb and Kurt during that. So what did we have? Well, this pairing was a black pastel spider to a pastel axanthic. So we're looking for, really nothing crazy in that combination. We're looking for some, I guess you'd have some black pastel spider, which are a different kind of bee, a black bee, I think is what they call that. Some pewters, and you get some bumblebees. But the biggest thing is they're all het axanthic. And what I really am looking for here is I already have a pewter holdback, but I would like another pewter that's het axanthic. That would be kind of the goal here, just so I could start layering in some axanthic into some new genes. This is a way to bring that black pastel into our axanthic so we can start doing some stuff with that down the road. That's really the goal of this clutch. We had 7 eggs. One egg went bad. It was kind of stuck, so I didn't want to remove it, so it got to stay there. It's all kind of gross and nasty. Everything else did pretty good. These bad boys were laid on 9/13, so they are due. We are going to open them up now. 9/13, 10/13. I think they're due, right? Help me out. Are they due? Caleb says they're due. So we're going to cut them open. See what we get. I've had people ask me what these straws are for. They're just to keep the eggs from rolling around in an effort to keep the eggs more stable, more healthy. These are all going to probably still be stuck together. There you go. Kind of, sort of. Get you back in their spot. And now that these are so close to hatching, they should come. Really, buddy, you got to let go of that. Here's the thing. If I rip this egg early on, it could be very detrimental. If I rip a little hole in it now, I really don't care. I don't want to, but it ain't going to hurt nothing. Bye-bye, bad egg. So we got that off there. If you can remove a bad egg, do. But this is a great example of people like, if you don't remove that bad egg, that mold's going to go everywhere. It didn't. You can see there's touch. I kind of put a stain on it. These eggs will have a natural mold resistance. So if everything's going well, you shouldn't have an issue. So you have to balance that removal of a bad egg. If it's removing nice and easy, remove it, get it out of there. It ain't going to hurt you. But it's not worth ripping an egg open that's only partially through term. So in this case, that was going to be more difficult. We just left it. If we would have started seeing mold spread, then we would have taken that risk. It's something you got to kind of play by ear. Drop my scissors. That's cool, though, because I've got more. You thought my only pair. I come to this game prepared. So that's kind of what we did. Get these all disinfected. There's also been some people talking about, oh, these videos are going to be used for the PETA folks out there to do things and bitch and whatnot. Look, that may be, as we'll see blood in the egg, but we just need smarter politicians to understand what's going on. And there's a way you can do that. This is going to be my last time I say anything about this, but if you go back in our videos from before or our posts, we literally posted every politician that voted in the House and in, well, it didn't pass in the Senate, but in the House that voted to take away your reptile keeping rights. Go back there, find that list. If one of your politicians that's up for election is on that list, please do not vote for them. This isn't about party. I don't give a crap if you vote for Republican, Democrat, Green Party, Libertarian, Alien Party, or something else I've never heard of. I really don't care. But we need to not vote for those people who voted to take away our rights. In my state of Kansas, if you happen to live in the district with Sharice Davids, please vote her out. You can choose not to vote. You can vote for somebody running against her. If you can't stomach voting for the Republican because you don't like them, vote for Mickey Mouse. Just don't vote for somebody who's willing to take away your rights. Our voice will never be louder than our vote. Okay? You can't sit there and say, I support USARK and I support all of these things and I don't want this to happen, and then turn around and vote for the damn people who are taking it away from you, because that is not supporting the mission. You must use your vote to make that your main issue. That is my key issue. If you are a politician in my district, whether you're in the Senate or whether you're in the House or whether you're running for the local librarian and dog catcher, if you vote to take away my rights as an animal keeper, I will vote you out. I will tell everybody else I know to vote you out, and you will never have my vote again. Period. It's a one-time shot. That's it. You can vote for everything else stupid, but that are great, but that is the one thing I will hang my hat on, and I implore you as reptile keepers to do the same. It's the only way we're going to protect our rights is by speaking with our vote, our voice, and putting these people out. So that way the new ones who come in are afraid to vote for that dumb shit because they know we'll toss them out on their ass. That's the goal, right? So that's my last bit of speech. Was there anybody too mad about me getting a little political there?
Nope.
Again, it ain't about party. This isn't a you need to vote Republican or you need to vote Democrat. I don't really give a shit. I do care about that issue. So, and I told you, Sharice Davids, when I emailed you afterwards, I'd speak my mind every chance I got for you to be voted out of office in the state of Kansas because of the choice you made, whether you knew you were making it or not. And if that's the thing, so we're going to say, well, I didn't realize that was in there. Well, then you should have read your damn bill and done your job. Vote them out anyway. Being lazy and being shitty at their job is not an excuse. Vote them out. Especially if you contact them and they still voted wrong. Definitely vote them out. All right. Let's go clippy, get into some eggs. We got 6 out of 7 that are still healthy. Whoo, now I'm all worked up, man. I'm worked up now. I'm pissed. It's almost election day. I tell you, don't vote for those idiots that take away our rights. Don't do it. Don't do it. Somebody's probably going to contact me now and say, please don't use so much rhetoric when you talk because, we're trying to screw that. Don't vote for those people. That one is a spider. Probably not a bumblebee. Is there black pastel in there? Caleb thinks there is. I'm going to withhold my judgment until it's out. It looks like it very well could be. Get some good movement in there. I want to see a little bit more movement. Oh, there it is. But that looks like a really nice spider. I see a little dot there, but pretty clean. So we look for in a spider. It's moving around. It's good to go. Put that back up. And that's what they're talking about, people getting mad about. Look, we do this for 2 reasons. 1, because we're impatient. Ain't going to lie about it. 2 is I've untwisted umbilicals and done some things and seen some snakes get stuck. We saved an itchy clown last time. We did this twice because it tried to drown itself in the egg. Twice. So that's why we do it. When there's still a little bit of egg like this, could you get a little bit of blood? Sure can. But that's not what's going to survive. You're not cutting the animal. It's not an issue. So let's go here. I do need to say one other thing politically, though, since I did use a lot of rhetoric. And I'm going to go back to cutting. I said vote them out. I am not advocating getting a hammer and running into anybody's house, okay? That's over the limit for no matter what. I do not condone violence in any way or shape against people because of different views. Do vote them out. Don't try to knock out their kneecaps. Okay, back to cutting eggs. That was crazy. I mean, I'm not a fan or anything, but man, let's not do that kind of stuff, people. Be a little bit civil. A little bit. The spider is definitely strong. Now that one I think probably does have the black pastel. There's a little bit of wiggle. Well, maybe. It'll be hard till they're out. So So 2 spiders, and I really don't need the spider. I got too much spider everywhere. I need to not hold back spiders, still produce them, not hold them back, so we get our numbers to be more equalized in what we produce. But it seems like my spider gene always passes on pretty well. You'd expect about 3 of them. Hey, this one doesn't have it. Everything is 100% het xanthic too, because we use the pastel xanthic, I believe. Speaking of that, that's going to have at least pastel in it. There's a movement in there. This too, another thing when you're cutting eggs, you see how those veins have dropped over the snake like that? That means this vein work is dropping, that sac is dropping. When you see that, that tells you these are definitely ready to hatch, because all that's detaching from the inner egg wall. That's a really good sign. So we know we're not too early. I'm going to miss this for a few months.
I know. We're going to have to start getting an itch.
Now that one, you can see those haven't dropped yet on this one, but they're starting to, because you can see some in there. Looks like a het xanthic. I'm not seeing anything else in there. But that's the first one of those we've made. And you know what? That's okay. We're going to have... I saw this weird line. I'm like, what is that? It's a tail. It's a little actual tail sticking up there. We're going to... het xanthic's the lowest thing we can make in this, and not what we're shooting for, but you're probably going to always have, a couple of those. Hopefully we'll only get just the one. The spider numbers have equaled out. That's good. So they say something. Watch me hit the all gene and be like, well, I got to keep that anyway. That's really cool. It's nice right there. Definitely at least a bumblebee. Got a little wiggle to its shake. Really cool. One more egg to cut. Let's go out with the bang, y'all. Last egg of the year. Those who were curious, 44 was a number I wore in sports too back in the day. Not that it matters or anything. Oh, that's a funky looking animal. So what we're seeing there is why it looks so funky is that is the nose of a spider. So you're seeing that pattern on the other side of the jaw where it looks like it's head stitched together. Probably just a spider there. Super clean. Super nice. Definitely alive. Really cool. So really cool. All in all, spider was a little stronger than we wanted. But we may not have got the hold back we wanted. If we didn't, it's not the end of the world on this clutch, to be blunt. I mean, this was one of those clutches we were kind of like, well, what do we do with this? What are we going to pair? I don't know. Let's do this. Man, these are going to go back in the incubator. And got a little dirt on there. It's dropping down the floor there. And kind of just hang out until they crawl out, and then we'll set them up. And we got a few other clutches that are shedding out now, and hatching season's about done. It's about in the books, and that's good. It's sad. I'll tell you one thing that's happened. Then I'm going to switch over to Patreon and talk about this clutch. One thing we tried to do on YouTube, I was reading a post the other day on a social media group. It was on the Facebook. I don't remember what group it was in, or if it was just a random post. Is somebody talking about YouTubers, which, and there's a lot of hate for YouTubers on there, on that post. A lot of people want to bitch about YouTubers. I get it. Some of these people have like, I got 25 years of experience, and my penis is this long, and I hate YouTubers. Okay, I understand. It's not what it's about. And maybe think about what we've done. And there's a few things I want to point out on our end, I believe are very, very important for us. There's some of the values that I have in this. And then I'll share what made me think about that with this, kind of finish the thought out. One is, there's more than one way to skin a cat. So just because you see me, and don't skin cats, by the way, unless you're catfish, if you're going to eat them. But there's more than one way to get that done. And what I mean is, just because I say this is how I do something, doesn't mean that just because you see me or you see somebody else on the screen, whether it's a little podunk person like me, or whether it's somebody like JKR, or even, Brian Barczyk, you've seen on screen a lot. Just because we say this is how we do something does not mean it's the only way to do it. Doesn't mean it's even the right way for you. There are things that people do that I don't do because it doesn't work for me, because I will screw it up. There's ways I do things that if people do it, they will screw it up. There's more than one way. There's not just a single right way. So I always recommend people, when you're learning and you're trying to gain that knowledge and gain that experience, I'd love to help you, but don't let me be your only source, man. Spread out in the world, get a lot of sources. If you can find somebody that's right there that that can help you, which I did have when I first started coming up, that relationship, you can question how it ended in some ways, and that's a story for another day. But I'm very still thankful for that, even though it didn't necessarily, for a multitude of reasons. But I am very thankful that I had that experience and was able to get that. And I always will be thankful for that, even if I don't always see eye to eye with the person that I did a lot of that learning from certain standpoints in life. But doesn't make me less thankful for, you're just like me, you got something to handle later. Doesn't make me less thankful for having that experience. And that wasn't meant to be dirty. It really wasn't. Oh, somebody made it dirty?
We'll have that discussion.
In that experience, I'd recommend you can get too, if you can. If you can find somebody local that can help you out, or get multiple sources, not just me. Number 2, if you get into YouTube, have an intent behind your channel. Okay? We can't, I've said it a million times, there's only going to be one Brian Barczyk. Okay? There's only one. And I watched him a ton when I was first getting started. And I learned a ton from him. And I love Brian. Still do. And I know that's a mixed thing for a lot of people. And fuck them. I don't care. That's how I feel. It is what it is. If you don't like it, that's okay. If you do, great. But I knew when I started, I can't be Brian Barczyk. I don't have 10,000 snakes. Like, I am not him. If I try to be him, I'm going to fail. So we've always tried to share our journey from very, very humble beginnings with a homemade shitty rack in a room in my house, as it's grown and grown and grown. We probably started our channel way earlier than we should have. I think we had produced, maybe we hadn't produced, or we had just finally produced our first set of eggs, something like that. We first started circa 2015, I believe. So to say we had produced eggs before then. I killed them all. That was before YouTube. And I think we might have had our first year of actual babies. The first set of eggs I killed was 14. So I think, I have to look back. So anyway, with that, my goal was always to share my journey. My journey and my experience and my knowledge is going to change with time. So if you listen to what I say early on versus what I say now, it's going to be different, because I'm talking about my journey, where I'm at now as I gain experience. Going from a brand new ball python breeder wannabe to a guy that's got enough experience now to be dangerous, but it doesn't mean I'm a fucking 30-year vet at this. I'm still learning too, and I will learn. And as a matter of fact, if you're a 30-year vet and you're not learning, you're doing it wrong. You should still be learning as well. So that's kind of my thing. So I was going to share is a new experience I'm feeling today in this. As we've started this and as it's grown, and this year, we had a lot more clutches we've ever had in the past as we're getting this figured out, this whole room and house and everything else with that, and figure out how to be a little bigger than we are, and expansion. Is here I am cutting my last set of eggs, still got multiple clutches to set up, and we're already into pairing season. And I'm thinking, man, I'll probably have my first set of babies just to sit, like, where I used to get a break, ain't gonna be no break. And I'm starting to see as having 44 clutches turns into having 64 clutches down the road, there really won't be any break. It's going to be a whole new ball game. So my experience is changing from that time when I'd have 3 clutches and I had this pairing, egg laying, hatching, break. I don't have that anymore. Now the egg laying goes along at the same time as the hatching. It's just all one revolving thing with a few months to pair, and then it all starts over again. So it just stretches out and it gets busier, and you're going to have to expect that too if you plan to grow to this size. It's going to be even worse if you want to be bigger than me. So that was what I wanted to share. All right, Caleb, anything we need to address over there? You were all laffy-taffy a minute ago.
No, I think everyone just seems to be in their own little world, having conversations with everyone. Someone said, Adam, let me find it real quick. Got some female spider just because of your spider speech. I'm probably guessing that was from the last live when we kind of talked to someone about when we talked about spiders, Dennis. One thing I am not is a hugger. I don't even hug my own family. So
Oh, when you come up, you just give Caleb the big old bear hug.
I will not. He said, "Go give Matt a hug for him." Unfortunately, I don't even hug my own family, so I will not be doing that. Rev said,
we'll hug it out.
How's the new baby doing? Did you have a baby?
I did. Food baby.
Oh.
Had it before it came over here.
Okay. I didn't realize. Yeah, I didn't realize who Rev was for a second. I was like, oh, did you have a baby and not tell me?
I mean, obviously, it's only been here a day. I don't want to spoil what it is because we did film that. We are going to release that video whenever whenever Kurt puts that up as he edits things down. It's doing good. Caleb got a chance to check it out today too. What'd you think of it?
That was crazy. That thing is beautiful.
It's beautiful. Obviously, it's in a what I call quasi quarantine, which means we still have only one facility we're going to run in, but we have to disinfect before we mess with that, disinfect after, all of those things, which is a normal standard operating procedure for those. But I will attempt to feed it for the first time tomorrow. On the way here, I know you told me, Rev, that it was in shed, and you were kind of like, oh, it's going to shed. It actually shed in the bag. So when we got it, that thing's color was looking amazing. So on the video, it should really pop. It's gorgeous. It's freshly shed. Couldn't have been happier with it. So Kurt even smiled, which is a feat. It's like Herculean to get him to smile. So it's going to be definitely a cherished add-on for what we can do. So I can't wait to share that video because we bought a python from Rev. So that's what we're all talking about, y'all. On through Patreon. So we buy snakes through Patreon too. As a matter of fact, that one and 2 additional snakes all come from Patreon members. So you're going to see all that kind of showing up here soon. Excuse me, anything else before we go over to Patreon?
Nope, I don't think so.
All right, guys, that is all I got. Thanks for coming along with me for my ride. Hopefully we're just, not even midway through this journey, and you've got a lot more riding to go. But we're going to ride it together, and you're going to see me fuck things up, and you're going to see me do things right, and hopefully you learn right along with me as I keep learning. Because I'm not trying to be the end-all, be-all, and know-it-all of ball pythons. I'm just trying to be a squirrel trying to find a nut, I guess. You made a face. We had something come in.
Someone asked if we are familiar with nerd.
Well, I think anybody who's been in this industry for a while has got to be a little familiar with nerd. Nerd's been around a long time. I didn't drop his name. I dropped the others because I didn't happen to think of it at the time. But, I mean, I always joke that Kevin literally wrote the book because he literally did write the book twice, I think now. I've never had the pleasure of actually meeting Kevin. Lately, I would say they take a little bit of a different approach to their social media than I tend to, which is their prerogative and their right. I'm not knocking, it's just different. I don't, they've been in some beefs with some people, and I try my best to not be in beefs because I think it's fucking pointless. Like, I can't get myself in trouble. It's like online 3rd grade. But Kevin is super knowledgeable, knows what he's doing, and has probably forgot more about ball pythons than I know. It's a collection that's bigger than I ever want to be. It has employees and things that I don't ever want in my life. But I have a lot of respect for Nerd and Kevin and what they can do. I will tell you, whenever you get a breeder that size, this is just fact, okay? Whether it's Kevin, Brian, any of the dudes who are massive, there's a few more I'm sure you could think of and name. Been around a long time, you're going to find a lot of good things about them, but you're going to find some really bad press about them too. And it's just because of their size and their time in, and they're going to piss somebody off who's going to take it to extremes. We all find that one person or 2 people in life. Well, they probably found 10 because they've been around so long and had so many customers. And you can't always make every customer happy. So and the negative is always going to speak louder. So, do I ever hear negative things about those large breeders? Yeah. Do I take that negativity with a grain of salt and balance it out with the good things I've heard in my own experiences? Absolutely, and I would tell you to do the same a lot of times. People don't usually get to be that successful by being stupid. Okay? JKR did not get to be as successful as he is, neither did Nerd, neither did Brian, by being complete and total fuck-ups. Okay? So whenever someone's like, oh, they're terrible, they've never done anything right. Really? It just doesn't make sense. If you just think about it, doesn't make a lot of sense. Every now and then one does. Enron got to be a big company by just bilking everybody, but eventually it crumbled. And those 3 names I just mentioned have stayed in this industry for a very, very long time. That tells me they're doing something right. Even if some people disagree with what they do, they're doing something very, very right. So there you are. Kind of my feeling. Hopefully that answers that question. Do we have a question, or was it just do you know nerd?
Just do you know nerd?
Okay.
And they said very well said, my friend.
Oh, appreciate it. So I'm trying to be very politically correct on that one because I'm not, again, I'm not trying to be in a this guy said something bad video from the guy who makes the videos, which I don't even know if Kevin pays attention to half those videos. I think Kevin's just off doing snakes, man. That guy's just wearing a tank top, got his hair all long, and just doing snakes. That's Kevin's world, and I don't think he worries much about that shit. But Nerd does some amazing stuff. So anyway, that's all I got. We're gonna hop up off of here, and I haven't heard much on any beast in a while, so maybe that's kind of all squashed in. Thank God if it is. It's one thing to say, "Hey, this is a practice I don't agree with." You guys have heard me talk about those kind of practices, especially when it comes to, say, free handling venomous snakes. I'll say this is not something that I think we should really personally do on camera, and here's the dangers of it, and here's why I don't want somebody seeing it thinking it's easy, even if the person doing it has a skill set, and then, having a bite and causing bad press and being part of that whole cycle. That being said, I'm not going to sit here and pick any of the hundreds of names of people who do that and talk about how shitty they are, because I don't think that's the case. They just have a different opinion than me. And most of them are very skilled at what they do. Well, there's a few that are stupid, but most of them are very skilled at what they do and aren't going to cause that problem or do their best not to cause that problem. And guess what? They're allowed to have a different opinion than me, and I'm allowed to have a different opinion than them. And there's some of those guys that I still respect the ever-living hell out of. And would love to hang out with, love to share a beer with, love to talk to, love to talk snakes and venomous snakes and everything else. Even though I don't really want to show free handling, which have I ever free handled? Yeah, I have. I've done some crazy shit, okay? Am I going to do it on camera? Am I going to do it to prove? No, because that's not what I want to present. But it doesn't mean that, even though I have a fundamental disagreement there, that we can't just leave it at that. And we don't have to rag on each other and start some stupid ass beef. Man, like I say, I respect the hell out of most of the people that you could think of. If you think of a name that you think, oh, he's probably talking about this guy because I watched that guy do it. If it's a guy I know, I probably respect the hell out of them and what they can do and how they keep their collection and some of those kind of things. So anyway, there's that too. All right, anything else?
Nope.
All right, guys, thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time.